Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vance. If today is the very first time coming across my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to draft a perfect princess dart bustier, and I'll also be showing you how to calculate your underbust contouring to achieve that perfect fit. So if you've ever had issues with gaping around your underbust, or your bustier is always pointy, whenever you sew your bustier it must point, or your bustier does not sit properly on your underbust or around your bust area on you or your client, then this video is for you. I'll be showing you how to solve those problems and how to achieve a smooth and well contoured underbust. So if you want to learn how to achieve all of these things that I mentioned, make sure you watch this video to the end and do well to subscribe. Turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So let's get right into the video. This is the fabric that I'll be using. The Ankara is the main fabric, while the satin is the lining fabric. So I'll first of all start with the pattern drafting. I'll go ahead and rule out my starting line, after which I'll go ahead and mark out my client vertical measurement. This bustier I'm making is for my client. So I'll first of all mark her bust point. I'll mark her under bust, which is 16. I'll mark her waistline, which is 18.5, and then I'll mark the hip length. So from the 18.5 inches, which is the half length, I'll be marking the hip length, which is 10 inches. After I was done, I'll go ahead and use my ruler to connect the points that I made into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. After I was done reeling out all of those points, the next thing I'm going to do is to go and impute her shoulder measurement. Her shoulder is 15.5, so 15.5 divided by 2. Whatever I had, I'll go ahead and mark it there. So next thing I'll do is to impute the armhole length, which is 9.3 inches. Then from there, for the shoulder slope, I marked 1.5 inches for her shoulder slope. I'll go ahead now and make that her armhole length into a straight line. And then that length is going to serve as our chest line, which is CL. This is the bust points. I'm just going ahead to label them: under bust, waistline, and then the hip length. So what I'm going to do next is to mark the shoulder, like I'm replacing the shoulder on the chest line. I'll mark it there, and then I'll connect that shoulder line to the 1.5 inches shoulder slope that I came down by. So when I'm done with this, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to divide the armhole. So in dividing it, I got 3.5. I marked it. I came in by 0.75. I marked it there. On the chest line, I divided the bust by 4. I marked what I had there, and then I went ahead to connect all of these points to get my armhole curve, just the way you see me doing. So after that, I went ahead to take the neck width, which is 4x4. I use 4x4 for her neck width. This is just to have the round neck, but it's not round neck that I'm still going to alter it. So I connected the shoulder slope. I won't be using round neck. The dress I'm making is not round neck. I'll alter it later, but right now I just decided to use round neck. So on the upper hip, to get my upper hip, from the hip line, I came up by 2 inches from her hip line to get the upper hip. This upper hip is really very important. If you're very conversant with my tutorials these days, you'll notice that I actually use upper hip. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take the body measurement. I've already taken her bust measurement. So the next thing I'll do now is to take the waist measurement, her waist divided by 4. And then I'll take the hip measurement and I'll connect them together. Note that I did not take the nipple to nipple immediately. I first of all took the body measurement before the nipple to nipple. This is where the error comes in. Now, if you want to make a very perfect bustier, you have to go through this method that I'm going through, just the way you see me connect the bust, the waist, and the hip measurement before the nipple to nipple. When I'm done with this body measurement, I will now go ahead and take the nipple to nipple. My client's nipple to nipple is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. I'll go ahead and mark that 4.5 on the bust points, under bust, waistline, and upper hip, and I will connect those points into a straight line. So when I was done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to get my waist dart. That's on the waist now. I'm going to get the dart. So the dart that I'll be using on the waist is 0.75 on both sides, which is calculating the two of them together is 1.5. So I'll replace that 1.5 on the other side of the waist, just the way you see me doing. Then I'll go ahead now and connect the dart to my upper hip, just the way you see me doing, and then I'll connect it to my bust point. So this is where this tutorial becomes very interesting. Just watch closely every step that I'm taking. So what I will do now is I'll use my marker pen to reconnect our body measurement. You know that the reason why we are reconnecting is because I actually replaced the dart on the waistline. The 1.5 inches that we used, I replaced it. So that's why I reconnected it. So the part that has the pencil mark, our initial body measurement, I'll be erasing it because we'll no longer be needing that part since we replaced the dart. You know, when you replace the dart, you have to reconnect. I just hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So after I was done replacing it, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and take the bust dart. This bust dart is the difference between your front half length, your front waistline, and your back waistline. So my client's difference is 1.5 inches. So I marked it there. So this is now our bust dart. So when I'm done with this, the next thing I'm going to do now is to achieve the princess dart. So from my shoulder point, that's my 1 inch shoulder slope, I will come down by 4 inches. I'll mark it there, and then I'll connect that 4 inches to my bust point, just the way you see me doing. So this is how to achieve your princess dart bustier. So from that 4 inches, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. So I'll come down here now by 1.5 inches. I'll mark it. You can use 1 inch, you can use 1.5 inches, and I'll connect it to the bust point. So from that point now, I'm going to extend half inch from this point. Now I'll extend it. Why? Because I don't want any shortage around my armhole. Then I'll reconnect it to the chest line, just the way you see me doing. So I'm using my marker pen just to make it more visible. Are you seeing our princess dart is already coming out? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to achieve the underbust contouring. To achieve your underbust contouring, you're going to divide your underbust by 4. So my client's underbust is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. So I'm going to place that 8.5 on my bust point. I'll mark it, and then I'll check what I have left. I have 2.2 inches. So this 2.2 inches now is what I'll be using for the underbust contouring. So for my center front, I'm going to be imputing 0.75. So that 0.75 now, I'm going to minus it from the 2.2 inches. The one that is left for the side front will be 1.45. So this 1.45 now, I'm going to approximate it to be what? 1.5 inches. So I'll be marking 0.75 on the center front, and I'll be marking 1.5 inches for the side front. So this is the amount that we are using for the underbust contouring. So I'll just go ahead and use my French curve to just connect it to my bust point area. I see, to get that princess cut or that bustier curve. Are you seeing? Are you seeing how beautiful this cup is already? So this is how you can calculate your underbust. Whatever you have on your underbust, you divide it by 4 and you place it on your bust point. Whatever is left, that is what you're going to use for your underbust contouring. I hope you understand. So now I told you I was going to alter the neck width and the neck depth. So my client, for this style, I'll be using a square neck for this style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the distance between my bust point and my underbust first of all, and then whatever I have, I'll place it on the bust point, and then whatever is left there, I'll mark it. This will help you to determine how you want your client cleavage to show, or how you want your own cleavage to show. So when I was done with that point, I connected the point that I made into a straight line, and on that line now I'm going to replace my neck width, which is 4 inches, and I will use my ruler to connect that 4 inches from the shoulder to the new 4 inches, and I will erase this round neck that I indicated or that I marked out earlier. So are you seeing that we now have a square neck? So I'm going to go ahead and use my marker pen to just highlight it so that you know that this is our new neckline. So I'll just highlight. So I will go ahead and do my shoulder tightening. So from the shoulder slope, I'm going to come down by ½ inches. The reason for this shoulder tightening is because I do not want this part of my dress to gape, or this part of my client dress to gape. Then I'll reconnect it to the 1.5 inches shoulder slope I came down by, and then I'll just go ahead and highlight this other part. I want to make this princess cut or this princess curve to be more visible. So when I was done highlighting, you can see how beautiful our princess that bustier looks already. Are you seeing? So what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and cut it out. So I'll go ahead now and close my bust dart. As you can see, I'll close my bust dart using a pin, and then I'll cut the remaining one. So I'm cutting my shoulder and the other part of our blouse. So if you're making a full blouse without attaching anything from the half length, you can go ahead now and style your hemline and everything. But for me, I'm going to be attaching a flay or something from the waistline, so I'll be cutting the other parts out. I don't need this other part right now, so I'll be focusing on this part because I'll be attaching something downwards. So now at the neck width, that's around this place that I'm marking right now, I'll be tightening it. This is because I do not want my client to have any gaping around her chest area, so I'll be tightening it by ½ inch. So this was me when I was tightening. I marked my half inch, and then I rolled it across, and then I rolled it again so that to enable me to close it up. So after I was done with this, I'll just go ahead and close up. I'll use my pin to secure the fold, just the way you see me doing. I do a lot of tightening because it's actually helpful. It helps you to eliminate a lot of errors. So I also tighten this area, so I'm going to tighten here because I don't also want any gaping around here. I'll be tightening by ½ inch too. So I'll just tighten this area just like this. Nice. And then I'll use my pin to secure it. You can use your masking tape. I don't know where my masking tape is, so I'm using my pin. So this is it, guys. I'll go ahead now and cut. So I've gone ahead to infuse my hairstay on my Ankara fabric. For the back, I won't be showing you how to drop the back because the back is very easy. Our major focus on this tutorial is how to achieve a princess cut and how to calculate your underbust contouring. So there's no need for me to actually show you how to draft the back because it's actually quite easy. So this was me when I was placing my pattern on my fabric, and I went ahead to pin it down. After pinning, I'll go ahead and add my allowances. So at the sides, I added 0.75 around the center front. Are you seeing? Then this front side, I added ½ inch, while on the main side front, I added 1 inch. So I just went ahead basically to just add the necessary allowance that is needed for this dress. Then for the center back, I added 1 inch. That's for my zip. I added 1 inch for my zipper part for the center back, and then for the other side, I added ½ inch. So I just went ahead to use my ruler to connect all the points that I made. Now you see. So when I was done, the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out. So after cutting on the main fabric, I'm going to go ahead and fold my lining. I told you I'll be using a satin fabric for my lining, and I've also gone ahead to infuse my hairstay on it. I'll fold it and then I'll place the Ankara fabric on the lining, and I'll go ahead to cut the lining part just the way you see me doing. So this was it when I was done cutting. So this is breast pad that I'll be using, although I have a leftover breast pad that I'll be using for this side. So I just went ahead to place the side front on the breast pad like this, and then I'll go ahead and cut out this part just like this, and then I'll measure the width of this point. I use 5 inches for the width. The width that you use depends on your client bust size. So my client bust size is 5, that's 10. It's 10. So if you divide 10 by 2, it's 5. So I'll just place it on the other parts, and then I'll go ahead and cut it to get the second part of our side bust. So basically this was just me cutting out the breast pad. So after I was done with the side, I'll also go ahead and cut the center front. So the length of this breast pad, maybe some of you will be asking, how many inches did I use for the length? The length of this breast pad, I used 8 inches for the length, both for the side and for the center, the side front and the center front. The length is 8 inches. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So when I was done, I ironed, and this was when I took it to my sewing machine to join all of it together. So this was me when I was arranging the side bust and the center front bust together to sew. So the allowance that you used or you left while you're cutting is the allowance that you will use to join them together. Make sure you don't exceed that allowance. If you use, let's say for example, you use 0.75 inches as your allowance, or use ½ inch as your allowance, that is the same allowance you will use to join the side front and the center front of your bustier together. And make sure you're not dragging it. You're just following the sequence. Let it flow. When you're sewing your bustier, make sure it's flowing. Not that one side you'll be dragging the other side and the rest. It will not come out well. So this was when I was done sewing it, guys. Are you seeing? Our breast cup is already cupping. Like, it's already coming out. It's giving. So I placed the other side front on the center front, and I went ahead to sew it. So I realized that this part was kind of opening, so I had to sew it down to the breast part first before joining it with my center front. So when I was done sewing, I set it aside, and then I placed it on my center front, just like this. And I went ahead to sew it down by the allowance that I left initially while cutting. So this was when I was done sewing, guys. So I went ahead to flip it over. Are you seeing how our cup is standing? It's so fine, seriously. So on the underbust, I just notched to reduce the fold around that area. I see how fine our cup is. So this is my back block. I know I didn't show you how I did it because it's quite easy. So this was me when I was ironing the back block, because I want to join both lining and the main fabric together, so I have to join all of those things. That's why I'm ironing it down. Are you seeing how clean the back is? I used Princess Dart curve for the back, so this was when I was done joining everything together. So are you seeing how beautiful our cup is? See how it's standing. See how neat it looks. See how neat it looks. So I'll just attach my lower part and my sleeve and everything that I need for this blouse, and I will show you the final result. If you found value in this tutorial, please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment in the comment section if you have any question that you want to ask me, and I'll be right there to reply you. And this is the final result of our blouse. Are you seeing how beautiful it is? Thank you for watching my video to the end. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.